endor ndum palasi.
Mr. Witness, you said you were certain that Balo was tortured, correct?
Sede wida wondama ananite no labuma wondama Balo opiama ba wadama ko musika don ko nabano don.
Correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
And you would agree with me that you can only have certainty in this case by seeing it.
Te ajabana ila wondama ender dundo on ko andanda ma hino fati e sengo Balo kon ko no labirtama ko duwoni wondama hara hida tawa.
That's the case, isn't it?
Non duwa indawana.
Just answer yes or no.
Udan eima ala no dum labirtama dan ko duwoni sida tawa.
You can only have certainty in this case if you saw it happen. Correct?
I don't know laptama pos.
Yes, that will be clear to you.
And in your case, it was that clear to you because you saw it. True or false?
You see, to be able
out of curiosity.
To see something.
Out of curiosity, that's what it means.
Out of curiosity. I went there and I peeped and I saw.
And what did you see?
I saw Mbalo Kante being electrocuted.
By who?
And me wa anu tiki ko bi min ko mi yogni ni dum oram sa ka agano ko mi yogni ni re bayti mi beton be mi beton min mi anda ko mi ko mabbe dal won beton because ne jogni mi tam min jimi be min ko don mi yawtir mi.
I cannot say exactly who was doing the electrocution. I just came, peeped inside, I saw these people in there, then I decided to pass. I didn't spend any time there, but I peeped inside and I saw them. That's the time when they were electrocuting him, but I cannot say exactly who was doing the job on him.
Who were the people around him that you saw?
The people I named recently in the past.
Could you tell us again? Who are those people you saw around Bale Kante when he was being electrocuted?
The town on, you know, for the Barinat one, no Baba Saho, Marina.
For the Bari was there. For the Bari was there, plus Baba Saho and Daba Marina.
So, at least these are the people you know for certain were torturing Balokande.
Awa hino wa ini no la be do be himbe be halda do be woni himbe be na hino la uma wonda mako be himbe be andanda ma wonda wonno wadu de Balo Kande de bare woni wadu masa no be mon kura be hino lap wada mo toncho woni no lapam.
Yes.
So when you told this commission that you assumed that Balo Kante was tortured, that was just an excuse. You would accept that.
Gilewi unoda commission wonda mi awi wonda ma Balo Kante ko Balo Kande won watu hari hibe wada no motoncho do woni hibe lappa ma hibe wada ko musi awa joni hino wayni dum don ko hala ko andana wonda ma awa dirtini ka sengo.
Assumption of Miminoma is a very, very high assumption. I qualified it that way. Until I told you up to around 100%. Maybe no man only. So on assumption, I'm holding no teeth gold makongol.
What I said before about the assumption was that I was 100% sure of what happened.
Mr. Witness, let us not argue over semantics. This is not an assumption, this is knowledge. The two are completely different. What you've just told us is first-hand knowledge of torture, Balo Kante being tortured, and you even described the manner in which he was tortured. That was 100% knowledge. That is knowledge. You agree?
Yes.
Good. So when you said it was an assumption, that was just one excuse to get you out of this. You agree?
No, to say that it was it's not part of that I was lying.
No, I was trying to extricate myself.
Not that I was trying to extricate myself.
But that is not exactly true. Your basis of knowledge was not an assumption, it was actual knowledge. That's the truth, isn't it?
Yes.
What is
Yes. That's what in full. That's what means yes.
Good. So it is actual knowledge, it is factual, it is an assumption. Correct?
Yes, that's what you asked. I answered in the positive.
Because it's not an assumption. When you told us it was an assumption, that was not exactly correct.
Well, you know, in even I go to me and tongue, given the Malando David and the one I meet and go Lauma, could one fee.
Assumption emphasis Momiwadio, Dunko Holunogal Matan, Konit money, Puran Horama Johnny Ganda, Kono Ayat Anka, Mialanima Colabius, Assumption Muganta Marco, Laptop, Muganta Midombotindi.
The assumption I mean is that something. The assumption I said is something that you have seen, that you have faced, something that is quite clear to you, that is obvious to you. So that's the type of assumption I mean.
In fact, Mr. Witness, you have just described the direct opposite of an assumption.
I said, Nini saw hold it on the Maduani Wingo on the assumption on Noyari, no, I hold another Sengo.
And don't push me to call it by what it is. What you said initially was a lie.
What a Dunyang Mihala Halakano,
it was a simple lie. Let's call it by its proper name.
When
you said you did not go there, you did not see it, you did not know who was there, you lied.
Now I got to me
I didn't say I don't know who was there.
You said you did not see it.
Yes.
You did not say, you told us you did not know who was dealing with him. You only know that these were the supervisors in charge. You only heard the cries from a distance, but you did not see anything. All that was a lie.
Well, I said who was I said who was screaming.
Mr. Witness, don't make it unnecessarily complicated. Okay? And don't play games with the commission. If you do that, you just making it more difficult, and it's not necessary. You know for certain that what you said previously was not true. It's completely different from what you're saying now. That is it. You agree?
There is a little difference.
Yes.
Are you serious?
What do you call him sexy? So
okay. Maybe what I should do is to send the matter to the chair. Let the chair deal with it. If you answer the questions, we move. Listen. Gentlemen. We have to listen to each other. If you answer the questions truthfully, we move on. If you don't answer the questions, we would stay on the issue until we get the correct answer. You don't want things to be called by their proper or precise names. The commission does not want to leave things to ambiguity. The commission you want to get to the truth, to the details. And I'll give you another chance. And answer the question truthfully. You previously told us that you did not know that this guy was being tortured. You only have a high degree of suspicion that he was tortured. So you assumed he was tortured. That is what you told us before, correct? That is what you told us before.
Council, what I said before and what I'm saying now is quite clear. If you like, you take it.
No, that is not what I said. Then you have to misinterpret me.
No, say what you say now.
No, what I am saying is
allow.
Wait. No, maybe. Whatever I tell you before, you take what I am telling you now. This is what I have said.
Okay, good.
You take what I am telling you now.
Okay. What you are? Which one is the truth?
I tell you now.
Good. So if the one you're telling me now is the truth, so we should also assume, like you did, that the one you told us before is a lie.
It
was not full.
It was not full what?
Yes. no, I'm not saying full. It was not the full fact.
It was, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So it was half truth.
Oh, you know, pass this one. Half truth, full truth. Now I'm telling you, take what I tell you. I think it's better we progress, Council.
You don't want that tag, I lied before. You don't want that. You don't want that tag, that label, I lied before. So we would progress. Everybody can draw their conclusions.
And
torture was such a norm at the NIA, wasn't it? It happened frequently.
What to you for?
Every time. Not every time.
Now what?
They used to do it.
Now what? They used to do it. It used to happen. That's what I said.
It used to happen, they used to do it. What is the difference?
It used to happen.
Well, it doesn't happen by itself, does it?
Huh? That's what you ask. You said whether it used to happen. I said it used to happen. You say whether it used to happen. I say it used to happen. It's a direct answer to your question.
Yes. Okay. The NIA officers used to carry out torture in that premises.
Yes, they used to do it.
The 2006 victims who were brought to the NIA, they too were mercilessly tortured.
2006
that is the Ndur Cham coup.
Because that's true.
That's true. Even some members of our leadership were involved. 3 to 4 of them were beaten.
4 to 5.
4 to 5 were beaten.
Who? Give us the names.
Daba Marena, the Director General.
Daba Marena.
Aliu Singate.
Aliu Singate.
Musa Diba.
Musa Diba.
Kemo Balajo.
Kemo Balajo. If I can remember properly, these are the people.
4. You named 4. Daba Marena, Aliu Singate, Musa Diba, and Kemo Balajo. And this was the former DG and senior management of the NIA. How did you come to know that they were tortured?
This is something that many of us became aware of it. A lot of us at the place came to know about what happened to them. But at that time, I was not there.
Yes, you were working at NAWEC, but you know for certain that these people were tortured.
Yes.
Well, but you would also agree with me that even former or serving NIA agents were not spared from torture once serious allegations were made against them.
Kala neddo mabbe me anda wanda mabbe be sobitike ma goddungo anga wona neddo wanda wanda ma awa fudo taka wanda ma e ngal do be pigge be watta ma bade muside be watta be don.
Ko gonga bayti dum wadi.
Yes, that's true because it happened.
You've mentioned these 4, but not only these 4, other senior NIA officers were tortured. For instance, Abdullah Kujabi.
Be yimbe na be halda do men fo na be do tawoni yeso be andra be natino de bitte. Wieta do yeso do goddo kan do wieta Abdullah Kujabi on kadi natino e bitte den.
Adani won ta on tuma wona ton o golla ta o riwama ko dum take mi innani go.
But at that time
te kadi ne sami yeji ki kule mako.
At that time, he was not working with the institution. At that time, he has already been dismissed. So this is why, in fact, I forgot about him.
Yes, but he's a former Director General
of the NIA.
And he was tortured at the NIA.
Yes.
Ngor Seka?
Ngor Seka, no?
Ngor Seka, yes.
Yes, Ngor Seka also. Yes.
So, and the list would go on and on and on.
Oh, kono yarata yara yimbe ben kono yarata yimbe dudu be bokkuno e mum.
You agree?
Yes.
Ajabi.
Yes, I agree.
What do you say would happen if an individual was alleged to have done something that threatened Yaya Jammeh's government?
On no wiuda ko wadata neddo si neddo tu mama wondema on ko falama adude hubbude yite ma hubbingol laamu Yaya Jammeh
What would happen to that person if the person is taken to the NIA?
And one on Kulemako Eptic family.
I know that a person like that will not be treated lightly. His affairs or her affairs will not be treated lightly.
Let's cut the diplomatic language and call things by what they are. In most instances, what would happen to such a person? I'm not saying in all. I'm saying in most instances, what would happen to such a person?
What would you do in that Tuma and then Tuma or Sikirimo and then don't seek it? Wajijo.
Most of the people, I can say,
most of the time, mostly you are going to be maltreated. In most cases, you are going to be maltreated. You are likely to be maltreated in most cases. Yes.
And maltreatment in this case is just another description, another term for torture, correct?
We jogoragol netto no ana ko jogogol bongol dum kadi ko lawol go ganda wonno kadi ko bittingol netto kadi.
Torture alan torture kanyum dumani mum dum na yaji.
Torture is wide. The definition of torture is wide.
Maltreatment.
Maltreatment is part of it.
So when you said you would be maltreated, you meant that the person would be tortured.
We see a view on the or what a maltreat go jogger jogol bongo bunkadi no tawa e torture.
Yes, it could be that.
And so would you say that the use of torture was part of NIA or government policy in dealing with people who threatened Yahya Jammeh's government?
Johnny, nda awiye wondama yettugol lawol ɗum woni waɗugol yimɓe torture ɗum woni lappugol yimɓe ma waɗu jogoragol ɓe e jogogol bongol ɗum woni lawol ngol andana ena eɓe ma laamu Yahya Jammeh kamɓe ko noon ɓe nafira surtout si a haalani waɗi goɗɗum ko andana koko boni e laamu Yahya Jammeh ɗum ko noon ɓe jogorayno on jogortama on tigi
ni ko ɗum mi jaabi ko wani woni tan ko fayda ko hunde wotere o lamdi eyi.
Yes, that's just what I said. It looks like the same thing, but just what I said just recently is that what I said before.
No, the question is slightly different.
I don't understand the difference then.
Yes.
Okay, no, yes.
Yes, but just as you said, yeah, that's it.
My question now is, would you agree that it was the policy of the NIA or the policy of the government that most people who were arrested for threatening the government of Yahya Jammeh would you say that?
Yes.
Good. So if one were to be arrested and taken to the NIA on strong allegations of a coup d'etat, or planned coup d'etat against the government of Yahya Jammeh, it is most probable that that person would be tortured.
You
agree with that?
Yes. Yes, that could happen, but I was part of those who were at one time arrested, but I was not beaten. That was not at the NIA, we were at the Holgam.
Does that explain why you were not tortured?
No.
No.
If you were at the NIA, would there be the likelihood that you
when I went to
my dollar de iti de ton doni ko holgam o watti fof because ko ben gono on to my minen ta fayda he yesuma ko ala ko min goni.
At that time all the powers were taken away from the NIA and were given to Holgam. So that was the time when we were apprehended at Holgam.
But you would agree with me that Holgam was not generally known for torture.
Kono jabay wondama o palace wiete Holgam jama on andano wondama ton ko palace mo andana wonda bimbe ton ko musi.
In fact, they were known more for fabrication of evidence and bribery of witnesses. Isn't that the case?
Dudi ko yimbe ko andiri ton ko du woni yimbe tam be gongindi be jabina yimbe ton kanyum sede be mantino be naforta ben pour be haalida be haala be anda wanda wana haala dari.
Isn't that the case?
Ndawana on no walori.
Yes, that used to happen at Holgam, but not only at Holgam, even at our place also, it used to happen there.
I agree, we would come to that. We just want to dissect the system to understand what used to happen in Gambia. Holgam specialist in fabricating evidence and bribery of witnesses.
Holgam ko palace wanda na wanda sede be ben ko dum woni be yaltina sede be andana be ko be anda ko be halata te kanyum kadi be jonna be goddum pour ko ben sede be kadi.
True or
false? Gonga ko fenande.
Andi avere dukkugol sede be dum de mi do en andi kono pour wande no ma mani nono vite ana o siwtini ka kamde pour duma ono vite bon jakis gol pour holle gol dum do ni dum woni te awana non dum woni setta gol on dum do ni woni te awana dum woni dum labani kam kono mi do andi dal après dukkugol seji.
What I know about Holgam is that bribery to bribe witnesses, I know about that, it happens at Holgam. But for the fabrication part, I am not very clear about that at Holgam.
Give us examples of bribery of witnesses at Holgam.
John why John be misal ko sede hombo be duki pour o yaha o sedi to yo ko
Nemin nanga min tuma wande nama ko kuzaza min patiwa nyande aljuma wono.
When we were apprehended, it was on a Friday.
Accused of coup.
And we were accused of being part of a planned coup.
Babi munganta ma ko on okigno on report pour wande nama minen ko dum min badi te ko on ne kadi ko on goto wano report lan tombong.
It was Rui Jabi who made that alleged accuse about us. And it was the same Rui Jabi who also reported Lantombo.
That guy must have been a specialist in detecting or sniffing coup d'etats, planned coup d'etats.
Lantombang and Sibemara no meeting to Buba Baji and Minmido Tawano he wado be security Gale Buba Bajo Puru Sibemara meeting a very good Tawan Tacomin and Daroto he damu de Gale Puru Nara even Tumano Minan Benon group.
He even said that we used to stand guard when these people were holding meetings. Gale Humbo?
They used
to hold meetings at Bubabaji's compound, and whenever Bubabaji's compound, and whenever these meetings are taking place, we are the ones who will go and stand guard for them.
Drugs ban and mapping arrest because Bofeni. One day no minen tawa he kudaza te dum wona dum gonga be mbi ko yajame wi makone yo nange te ko on yajame goto wi minen yo min nange.
It was Yajame who said we should be arrested, but The day we were arrested, the following day, Yaya Jammeh also said that Rui himself should be arrested because he told lies.
Then the Rui yoti don ben na lobby ha o kick mobom oimbo you stupid. You see, combat accord in English. He said, you stupid. You see what you have done. You are reporting innocent people again. This is what you did. You reported me to the president, saying that I did not give you people the 10,000 euro he gave to each of you after testifying. If I had not made you to sign that receipt and show it to him, you would have landed me in trouble.
When he was brought in, Ben was so angry that Ben kicked him and told him that, you see,
Ben Ari, Ben Kikimbo, Obimo Wanai, and Capeno Modo, because Afeni do Bedo one in my Kuda, I'm going to do one out of Gonga. I already said it in English. Now I'm translating it in Fula.
But you are still using English.
Oh, sorry. The one in Ovimbo and Denoma. Apeno don't got the Hadawandra do Fena, the one in our Kuda Bengoni, Tedumana Gonga, and go to Onjara Kadimbida, Miokani on Ujinaje Sapo Euro, they are Jami Okikam, the Puru Oku go to him on for Ujinaje Sapo. Simivina no Kai, put China on one day no more, and Japidu me Judeam, Hami Holy Bodum, 1 million a time and nothing a problem.
So that's how you knew that Rui Jabi Gassama and his colleagues were bribed 10,000 euro each to incriminate Langtombong Tamba.
Yoni konom andada wandama o Rui Jabi Gassamajo jonnama dukama guluji sappo euro pour o wawa natinde be te dum no immode Yaya Jammeh.
Because kodum pen wi dum ko heso am.
Yes, that's what happened, and that's what Ben said, and it was in my presence.
And this payment of 10,000 euros came from Yaya Jammeh to these witnesses to incriminate Langtombong Tamba in a coup d'etat that he did not plan or do.
Hinawani o wulure guluji sappo euro ono immori Yaya Jammeh pour yoba mo Rui Jabi Gassama wawa nadinde Langtombong Tamba e coup d'etat mo andandama wondema o famani en hay fuso anda wala gandal e mum.
Wana Rui tan ko Ibrahima Mare mi anda he goddo ko be tato mona fo ujuna sappo woni ujuna tapantati.
It was not. It was not only Rui, there were about 3 of them. And it was in my presence when Ben explained this. And in fact, others were present when Ben was saying this. And when this was happening, the other people, the other 3 were brought in so that they can be present when this explanation was being done, so that it can be proven that it was a lie, that we were accused on a lie. So they were brought in and it was explained in their presence, and Ben himself was there.
That is not what I am saying is, Rui, his other colleagues, Ibrahim Mare and the other one, they were brought to the investigation about us for them to testify whether or not what Rui is saying is true or not. And they said it's not true, they don't know anything about us. They left. That's the short statement they gave. That's what they told us, because they came to us to explain that to us.
But that is on your side, why you were accused. I am focused mainly about the payment of witnesses to come and lie against persons accused of coup d'etat. Your testimony is that Rui Jabi Gassama, Ibrahim Mare, and witness against Langtombong were paid 10,000 euro each by Yaya Jammeh to falsely incriminate Langtombong Tamba.
We know in the Sere Agalmangal Wanda, John de Yeso Commission or Koduani, Ibrahim Mar, Rui Jabi Gassama. Ko yimbe be andana wona be yobama e guluji sappo euro pour be wawa jondirde seedegal wawa natinde Langtombong Tamba e wobbe go ko woni seedegal ko wonda jondirde do
ko mi setti wonda ko dum wondana ma la ko dum be cetti ko be cetti ko wondana ma Langtombong na pagno wadde kudata ko be cetti dum ko
Yes, what he said is that they were alleged that they were paid, each of them 10,000. They can testify against Lantombo.
And how did
no, I want to put it correct. The payment was meant for their testimony against Lantombo.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Yes. How did you feel about that?
Me, I was not happy with that because that is inducement.
How did you feel that the President of the Republic is paying witnesses to induce them to testify against innocent people?
President lady nding himo jetta yimbe himo yobabe kalisi pour be arabe sedito e do hore yimbe pour wawgol natingol ben ko nañi yirluda dum
min do dum yirli wona ko foti watte dum wona dum gonga.
How I saw it is it shouldn't have happened and it is not true.
What is not true?
Wondu woni wana gonga
makko haali dum de. Wona min haali dum de.
Okay.
It is not true wana gonga dum ko dum firti wana gonga. We are full sitting down here. Many full are here.
Could you say? Could you translate? Could you interpret what you said?
Repeat the question.
Council.
The question is.
Alani the president of Puru. How do you what you feel? Only no humble. Yoba imbe Puru yoba nja be.
Said it all.
Be chato head one. Mimi dum wana ko 40 watt de. Dum wana dum lawol. Min ko dum mi.
Bila mfotaka wadede wana gonga.
No?
Kodu wiro da. Ko kwa huda mawdo anko lankuran nanguda do hudi.
Okay.
Okay.
Moji.
Okay. The president should not be paying witnesses to induce them to falsely incriminate other witnesses, other suspects. That's what you said, right?
Yes, Wanadum Gonga, it has come again. It's not true.
Okay. Sorry.
No, don't care. Allah hake.
Okay. All right. But this thing used to happen. We will not go into any details.
Yes,
but these payments to witnesses to falsely incriminate other people used to happen.
Yes,
and the NIA and Holgam were at the center of this.
NIA kanyuma Holgam ko kabbe wonno hakkunde wado de bade wado de don.
Yo emoje.
And emoje.
Minister of Justice.
Minister of Justice. The public, the
DPP's office.
The audience is not testifying.
DPP, I don't know with them. Gagdi do Ministry of Justice, Gagdi do Pugi Nyawgol Imbebe.
Man responsible.
DPP, and there are DPP.
The man, the person known as the DPP. And his deputy were also involved.
Richard Chenge and Mikhail Abdallah.
Richard Chenge and Mikhail Abdallah.
So what were they involved in?
Betawa he mabe he numo Eloise betawa he vetugol silaba because antuma be ola bahari ben numo before I don't know pour hodum kono ta hebe loba ni Jesus ko moyi Jesus me anako aldibenon kono
Ben just okay wait sa yawti si uti addatala ben numo e hombo
Ben numo DPP,
and DPP's deputy were annoyed. They were angry about Esabaji.
Yes.
Yeah. They were angry about Esabaji.
And Ben and this man Pahari.
And Pahari.
Mama Kono Solicitor General.
At that time he was the Solicitor General.
Okay. Let's take it step by step. Okay, let's go back a little bit. I know what you've just said.
Okay.
The question was, did it used to happen that the state would procure false witnesses to incriminate people they wanted to eliminate from the system?
Because by the middle hand and the high secret did it.
Yes, I can say yes, because I am aware of up to 2.
Yes, give us the examples. You've told us about the Langtombong case.
That's one of them.
Yes.
Goto konebembi yo silaba yo veche o wanta Sunday.
And the other one is when they said syllabus should change and become a witness.
Against Jesus.
Stand against Jesus.
Antuma miholebe Jesus I go to meda ar I go to meda we Jesus we one no oka drug present number oki drug wala Jesus o meda yeptu jungo he jungo halis henado wala o we nado one no mamido ya drug num meda wat so joni hono dum wawi ka wonir.
What I said at that time was that Jesus has never said that he took money and gave it to people hand to hand. And
President,
give it to no.
Could you interpret
what I'm saying here is when Jesus
we are losing track of the story. You're starting your answer with how can that happen?
Yes, that's what I do, because they say he should be changed to a witness. I say, how can this happen?
Okay.
How can Silaba be changed from a principal accused person in a matter to become now a witness, against somebody who is not the principal accused person? Because that Jesus never tell anyone, those people, those witnesses, those that claim Silaba took money from them, and Silaba told them with the pretext that he is giving drugs to sell by the president. So nobody have ever said that. Jesus also never said that. Even Silaba himself, he never said that. So now, how can that Jesus told people that he is giving drugs to sell by the president or any other person? Or Jesus, nobody had ever said that Jesus gave him money for drugs. So now, and Jesus never also received directly money from any of these people. Now, how can Jesus be the principal accused person? That is not possible. And then also that time, we had already sent our file. We have completed our investigations, and everything was sent to the relevant authorities. The deal made to the relevant authorities.
We were going to come into the case of Jesus. I have the
case Jesus on Noyari no.
So enjoy Timata on Tumakan because here at Alamdi Kule Dumani the falsification or changing of money in the witness, something like that.
We were going to we are going to come into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was going to be under the case of fabrication of cases against people.
So
we will come to that. But for now, the question is, was the government paying people to falsely incriminate people they wanted to get rid of? You've given us the example of Langtombong. You say he was falsely accused. And the principal witnesses were paid 10,000 euros each. Can you give us other examples where people were paid to falsely incriminate other people? Do you have any other examples?
Counsel, if a witness can answer that question, precisely, not in a convoluted way. Please, Emma, proceed.
Just answer the question directly. You understand English perfectly well. In fact, your English is very good.
landa no kiamon ko woni wide no landira da no
min ko mi hali goto ko on mi andinen dayti oda den wana hen tawa.
Yes, the one I know, that's what the one I explained, but the other one is not part of it.
Well, no explain.
And the one I explain.
In your own case, do you know whether the government gave Rui Jabi Gassama any incentive to incriminate you?
Mi hebani hen ko labi kono mi do andi non nawadi numani numo en be ngantama be bayti be nji joni ko be jinno ko mi wada andum joni mi andi wonde no ma be madi fere no be jewtidi o do ha o inna kam hen
joni fat
sa juti yo sattay
dum rek sattay. Okay, we and Sangoma, as far as he said, what he said is that as far as he didn't do what Numo and others want him to do, that was the reason why they wanted to implicate him, because they wanted him to do something that they want, and he refused to do that.
And what was it they wanted him to do which he refused to do?
Njino pour mi binda ko wite ko affidavit kaytol ngantama ko pongol ya de code holli ga wonde noma silaba samate ontuma ndemin badimbo ndemin bisitimbo min tawani haydara ko fotira nangirede wala nabe code.
Yes, so okay, wait. They wanted me to write an affidavit which will be taken to the court to show that when we went to Silaba, we didn't find or see anything.
Investigated.
When he was being investigated, we didn't find or see anything that will incriminate him.
But Johnny, wodi ko funti, dum nambo modini, so Johnny hombo sokla.
Then after that, something came out which you know is involving him. So that's why he's wanted now.
Se abe mbadiru dum ni hebe ngandi wonde na ma on joni o dogi o funti ledni joni bano do mo bel dum woni ndako koto makko debbo na ko minyira makko bi wami ananda ko minyira na ko kotira kono ko makko e makko jidi ko janke samate o vite.
But what happened later was that it was later discovered that Silaba Samate has absconded, and after that the person who stood or who bailed him was was his sister, either a younger or elder sister. That was the person who they later on arrested.
Because onto my office of the president, horom na lobby na windi office ameno na bebia ko hono odo woni ta witness. So dum holli ka on onto ma sande ka ya jame wanda sa odo ko Silaba ko bechado o wada send na ma windi office ameno wada query wonde ko take fere Silaba na wona witness.
And in fact, the president himself was angry about this, and he even went to the extent of writing to us, saying that how can Silaba become a witness in this matter?
I say office of the president.
Office of the president, yes. That's where the letter came from,
yeah.
Saying that how can Silaba become a witness?
The one letter are bembi min yomi jabombo mbimbe min jabo kon jabo to miton gonde no ma ko mi lamdo to be minen report bo min noldu be hoto on woni.
What they said was that let me answer that letter. Then I said to them, then where is the report which concerns this matter?
In response, I told them that if I am to respond to this letter, I am going to question about the report that we sent. Where it is.
If they want me to write a report to answer that letter, then I will request for the report that was written about this matter. I will request for that report.
Ontumanon wani dum welani be benjehi min wopi be don miyehi ontumanon deka DPP en be bindi on affidavit ha e pari be no dikam office makoto.
Then when I said that to them, I left them there, I went. On the whole, they were very angry about me. Then that was the time when the DPP wrote about this order affidavit about me, against me, and when the DPP, wasn't it the DPP who wrote?
No. They wrote an affidavit to say that Silaba was not found wanting before, but now that evidence have emerged that he's associated with somebody, so he's a subject, so that they can now get the sortie to continue the case. So when I went to the DPP and saw this letter, this affidavit, I told them this is not true because I'm not going to sign it. It's not true. I insisted. On tomorrow, the me hitombe colleague am on affidavit. Me no bodo jogi sa copy on me jogaki mo kono me to jogi golo. Me sali dum bimbe wonde no ma dum do mi wata dum sign because ko fenande wona gonga.
When I was called to the DPP's office, I refused to sign that document because I told them it is not true. This is why I refused to sign that document.
On tomorrow, benje hindega. Bembeti hala amka bembati tumno like community bitedo binta samura on koton oligoto ko legal clerk on tuma.
Then they changed my words and wrote something else. Somebody called Binta Samura, who was a clerk working at that place, called him bewadi on.
On tuma on owindi affidavit pour holli rawande noma commune ari office makoto be pare holli mo wande noma dum do ko ni heni dum lelori kur ko be jino ko mi hala. Mi hale a court joni be mbindiri dum non no ni commune Mary Binta Samura pour o winta dum he inde am on tuma be naba dum.
What happened was that a clerk working there called Binta Samura wrote something which they wanted me to write, which I refused to do initially. So Binta Samura wrote that, and then it was then taken to these guys, and that's what they used. They are saying that it was me who wrote that or who said the words written on that document.
What I want to say here is, it is Binta Samura. The document now is changed as if I am the one who went to Binta Samura and then explained to her to write on my behalf the affidavit, the way it is. I even have a copy of it, which I would want to.
We would come to that.
Okay. So when this happened, they wrote it like that and then sent it. One day, I heard in the court that a document is presented there stating that OMAR CHAM. Then I heard of that. I said, look, what is this? I tried to get a copy of the document from the court because it's
Johnny, what I know.
When I had that at the court, when I cook to nyawore to nanda dum.
Nyawore minani be mi wonde ma to nyawore to na min mido windi kayit pour holli gol wonde ma sila ba ni heni.
Fadu, I heard this from the court that I wrote the document saying about Silaba did this and this and this.
Me ontuma mi odo ono vite bom janke horma ko ta ontuma bunanga office amen.
That time, Janke was already arrested and was at our office, detained at our office at the time.
Mako hore mako ando anda kam mi ari ha mi lamdi mo pour ondo hombo mako ne hombo wi on e bembi ko bite do OMAR CHAM yehi wi ton nangam he nangam so jonon gandu mi koko hebi ndeka on tuma no mi yehi mi wadi try ha mi hebi copy of the affidavit from the court.
Okay, then that was the time when because she doesn't know me, I asked her, and then she explained to me that it was said that I was the person who wrote this document. Then I tried by all means to lay hands on this document so that I can have it myself, in fact, to help myself. So this is the time when I got hold of the document. Then I took this document to Binta, and I asked her, well, did I say these things or did I tell you to write this? Then she said no. Then I asked her, then who told you to write this? She said her bosses, Richard Chenge and Mikhail Abdullah are the people who told her to write it.
Tamido lobinon. Konon taumi wande nama mako alako wadi because ontuma tako usuka don jiru mini ton to golleton.
I was very angry, but when after looking at the whole thing, she's a young person who is who recently came into the job. So when I looked at things, I left it like that.
Ontuma miruti officer mendeka bite do major bojang on ko badano do post at the Ministry of Justice.
At that time, I went back to our office on the whole Major Bojang, who was attached to the Minister of Justice.
The boss amen dumani numu kujabi the Director General when you go wikamko ande ka hada Ministry of Justice halaton at that show.
Then when I went to my boss Numu Kujabi, that was the time he told me that on the whole you went to the Minister of Justice and started something like quarrel there.
Because on jaho nimbindira te kotaki on guide gilalaw mimino ma wonde no ma mimi watadum wonadum gonga kotaki ane horema awambo at sign wala kotaki Ministry of Justice for I go to alaton balon bo sign commune.
Then when he told me that, I told him, well, I did this because I was accused of writing a document which I didn't do. Why didn't you sign it yourself or somebody else with your caliber who should have signed this? I didn't do it. And I'm accused now that I am the person who did this. So this is my reason for being angry about what what was done.
As a result of that, what did you decide to do?
Antuma wani ko mi vindi ko mi vindi office ameno e koy mabbe be parende mi vindi be mi wadi copy dumanin mi wadi copy Minister of Justice, Solicitor General, Chief Justice, Director of Public Prosecution, Deputy or Justice Amadi because ko on jogino case Jesus eno.
Okay, fine. That was the time when I also decided to write my own version of what happened. I decided to send a copy of the letter to my boss himself, Minister of Justice, and to the CG, Chief Justice himself, and
DPP,
and the DPP, and his deputy,
Justice Amadi,
and Justice Amadi, who was responsible for the case, and Binta Samura herself. And the JP who, decided to authenticate something that she doesn't know.
So you explained the story as to how that affidavit came to the court.
Mi halim don be pare mo haleri wande ma wata be mbad mistake bom be no dakam court pour affaire mo simi yehiret mi yabe ndo foko fenande.
I did that, I said that, and I even told them that if they call me to about this case, I will tell all of them that it is a lie, it is not true.
And what eventually happened to that case against Jesus?
Joni on case, Jesus no 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 case on kasakitoru.
Case owa continue because no why ta continue rek ko simi jabi no yagol pour mi wala dum do.
The case, they were unable to continue the case because what they hoped was that I will go and agree with them. But when I refused, they cannot continue with the case.
So what happened to that particular case?
Johnny on case on tigir honno sakori honno sakiro.
So mi fogi what no ko o hempina katon anda o ita mana ko ita kono hempina ni o kontinani.
The case was unable to go further. I don't know what happened to him later, but the case was unable to go ahead.
Of course, he was later charged with another case concerning Ramses and others.
Kono no ini yeso kadi be tekuno case goddo e hore maka kadi mo wanda wanda hino tawa Ramses kany mo gobbe go.
But we would come to that.
En aroye don kono.
But you told us earlier that they were angry with Jesus.
Halani do wida yimbe wanda bawnu wanda ma Jesus woni Esa baji hikobe yimbe loba no mo ha.
Yes.
Ni matan ayat dum hen because suna dum den hokotaki hada ida modine wala hokai da hada no because min ko dum min dari mi kegi wonde no saya hebeni ba anden ko angany bu woni don kono na gonga be ngoni.
Yes, if you look at the whole case, they were angry with him. But if there was no truth in what was taking place and what was happening. It was just a fabrication. That's what they were doing.
you refused to participate in that fabrication against Jesus, correct?
Asalike wonna pour tawede kan hala dum woni yubbingol kan hala kan na ka hebake do Jesus.
That's what you said.
Jesus stand because wana makoran.
Yes, it was not only Jesus.
Kulute.
Lute also.
Sekabai.
And Sekabai. They were all in the same case.
Kelute Mane, is it?
Kulute Mane,
yes.
Yes. And the other person is Sekabai.
I don't know his. I forgot him.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's Mama Tarseka or something.
Okay, Mama Tarseka, yes. So this was the first case against Jesus.
No case either on Jesus.
But even in that case,
in their own case,
the panel in which you were a member,
panel do any kafu jotni na pour ndati no ngal tumal ngabe tingal horama te anda na antiki tawno e on panel.
Did it recommend charges against Esa Baji?
Honno wonno yamiroje mabbe pour ndabe yamirno wondama Esa Baji yo tege tumal.
Yes.
So why did you have a problem with the case against Esa Baji proceeding?
Jona ko honno hebuda bitte tegal gol case na wondama be tunmo teguno Esa Baji yawa.
Ani dum lo koko wecci joni.
Because the thing was changed. And the changes that took place was not correct.
Can you tell us what was changed? We want the commission to understand what was the game that was being played. What was unlawful in that game? And how some of the players were rewarded and others punished.
We
want to understand the whole scheme.
And Silaba on ko bandi maudo teko sai ko tapalantejo.
Silaba happens to be a big criminal, a bandit, and somebody who is a mixer, who mixes things up.
He said Bandi, Sasai.
Bandi, yes.
That's what you said, isn't it? Could you say it?
He said, that's what I said.
Those are your words. Silaba Samate, how was he a bandit and a criminal?
Silaba ko ya o yepti faring mbo so di Karaba shopping center o wadi dum no paketaji ni wadi hamo joni aya jimbe be joni o mbo hollira wonde no ma ya jamme nambo oki drug pour yo o ye 20 tons o kimbo drug yo ye ha pare o kimbo IGP dum woni Jesus because Jesus on ma won makko no IGP.
No, darodon. Okay. Silaba went to the Karaba shopping center and decided to buy flour. After buying this flour, he prepared it and put it into small packets, just how they prepare drugs. And then this is the item that he prepared and which he said was the type of drug that they were selling. And saying that it was Esa Baji who gave him these drugs to sell.
No. He said the president gave him the drugs to sell and then gave him Esa Baji, the IGP, and the military police to assist in the disbursement of these drugs and sell them to people.
Joni o wi me fahala na fulbe. Joni o wi kanko ko wi ko o farin ko fewni ko no wawno drug ni wi ko president jonni mo pour be jonna kala Esa Baji yimbe wobbe walla mo.
Esa Baji yeso police military.
Yeso police abe.
What I want to say here is, the Silaba, he will tell people that it is the president who gave him this drug to sell. In order to do it, he gave him Jesus as the IGs to assist, as well as the military police, Sekabai and Kulite. So Kulite was to act in the absence of Sekabai, because there was a time Sekabai traveled, so Kulite was acting in his state. This is what he said. So now, si imbebe ngari ya imbebe pudi ar aya joni o wian mano how para be pare o kola Jesus, so call Jesus got the arat in full uniform IGP with the flag and the big official motto wara so ari joni sibenjodi madoen silaba na lo wonde jom. I will translate that in English to help him so that we go fast. So I'm speaking Fula or English. I'm not thinking.
Now, Johnny, how do we pull kala?
Okay, so imbe bengari, we have one denoma, koya jame konto, or not that Jesus, he telephone, then Jesus arat. Si Jesus are, when I gardo, on otaweta do haldeta do Jesus de, koso ari Johnny, o imoto do, o ya ha tonin. Johnny ayat wanda toni Jesus, odo na iya, kono wanda ko haldeta Jesus, so pare. O aksa o yam ay mihalani Jesus, pour wanda na maana ari ko dum do chokruda, so arani bayti ko mabbe garanta gay president. Mabe poti walde de pour min jaya dum do on tuma non Jesus ya to kadi o non sakabay on yara.
Okay, Fatsela. The plot that was being run was that Silaba told people that these drugs were given to him by the president, and he was also to be assisted by the IG, who happens to be Jesus at that time, plus other members of the security units. So when he discusses with somebody about selling of drugs, when that person comes, Silaba will call IG, who will also come sometimes in full uniform. He will get up, go and discuss with Esa Baji at a distance. The person will see him discussing with Esa. Then after that short discussion with Esa, Silaba will come back to the person. So Silaba Arijun Kodumwate.
So actually, ontuma arani odon ogumat, wande no ma koko hebi, ontuma oyaha, o adda kalis.
Then when Silaba comes back to the person who wants to buy this drug, then that person will believe, because he has already seen Silaba talking to the IG.
And
so,
the military police.
And the military police who were also there. So then Silaba will go and come with the money. He will, the person who wants to buy the drug will go and bring the money to Silaba.
So at the Kali Sohan, I Johnny Silaba, Alani Wononi ko bandi, o jepta hen, o wada he envelope, o jepta go no wada envelope, Johnny Puru Johnny Kadi or not the Jesus your military police, Purbeara.
Then after he takes the money from the person who wants to buy this drug, he will divide it, put some in one envelope and put some in the other envelope. Then he will call Jesus to come.
And the military police.
And the military police.
Johnny Sibengari Han, Kadi or Dagdo Toyama Bedula, on the other, Hombo Japi envelope, Hombo Okajum, on the other. When
these people come, he will go away with them a little bit further from the person who came to buy the drugs. That person will see him handing over this envelope to the military police and also to Jesus.
Koni dum woni ha wodi Nigeria no be dido ben be tinidum bayte be ngandi pambay pa habbi mbay gonodo CMC.
This is
be jehi be kalyani dum pambay woni on wadi gondo gay ko dum do o wi tawone ya jami nambo okki drugs mo ya te ko military police okimo.
This is what was happening until there were two Nigerians who came to know what was going on. These two Nigerians decided to go to Pambai, who was at that time Kanko no CMC wala?
No, Omedi no one day. Omedi no one day.
Who was one time CMC. But at that time, when this was happening, he was not working with the police. But these two Nigerians decided to go to Pambai and report this matter to him.
Why did the Nigerians decide to go to Pambai to report?
Nigerian
because mabe one day no ma dumdo kuhunde one day serious the president no inde the very drug now is serious mabe no mbiri so ko dum do takki fere ha bayti be ngandi Pambai be mbi be jaha e mbanna mo explain.
Yes, okay. The reason why these Nigerians decided to go to Pambai is that to name the president of the country to be selling drugs or giving people to sell drugs in his name is a very serious matter. So this is why these two Nigerians decided to go to Pambai and report this matter to him, because what they heard about the names that they were using, that it was the president who gave them this drug, was something very serious. This is why they went to Pambai. Mike.
counsel.
Thank you. Was Silaba actually giving them drugs?
Nda Silaba tigi on mutako kanko jonna no be drugs on.
O kata be drug ko onda hombo be weddo.
What, Kodum?
O kata be drug ko onda hombo be wala filling fala mbo be weddo.
No, he was just fooling these people, you know, twisting and turning them.
Yes.
Was he giving them anything?
Nda wodi ko jonna tabe.
Ay dara.
He doesn't give them anything.
What happened to the flour that he bought?
Joni on farine on ko hondo wadi on farine.
Nde dum do wondi problem o ya koy dum.
When this problem emerged, he decided to go and destroy all those flour bags.
But was he giving some of his customers flowers, making them believe that, flour, making them believe that this was in fact drugs?
Nda be kiliano be makonda hi wodi wo e mabbe himo jonna be o farine pour ben holo wonda mako drug o be jondude.
My memory serves me well. I don't think so. Si tawi mi sitori tigi, tawi jumani kai mi sikani.
If I can remember properly, I don't think
don't
he was doing
worry.
that.
We have the report.
Yes.
So we would let you see the report later.
We don't
I think this is a convenient time to stop for the lunch break. Let's stop it here, and then we'll continue when we come back.
Well, certainly a good time to break here. Bandits, Tapale, Pilimpalang. What is it? Well, anyway, we'll take one and then come back at 3 o'clock. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.